Hello.
Hey. Rotated the passwords, and at the same time the computer had previously set this up on decided that it won't find the boot volume right now.
Fun.
Fan freaking tastic.
So, always love when the computer can't find the boot volume.
Right. And of course, the post I made. Let's see here. Scheduled to go live, but it's missing. Oh, it missed the schedule. What the hell does that mean? I've never seen that error in WordPress before. Yeah, we're way past November 2nd. Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
Barely. You're quiet.
Sort of, not really. I mean, yeah, I could tell there's. Yep, somebody said something, but.
Better?
Not really.
Son of a...
You are super quiet.
How about now?
It sounds like your voice is not coming from your headset, but from something else in the distance. Do you have the right input?
Knowing this computer, probably not. I hate this thing.
Yeah, because you lean forward and it gets clearer and louder. It's like it's using your array mic probably on a laptop.
The absolute garbage mic that comes with my computer. Wonderful.
There you go. Something sounds better.
Hey, Deli wants a link to this meeting. Do I just send him to our AK AmpGuard website or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing that aired out just now. But
everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Hooray.
Okay, that's posted now. Come on.
Why can't I share my own shit anymore? That's me crazy.
What? It's cheaper for an expo booth than it is for a whole wall.
Perfect. Get that.
10-foot wide, but it comes with 2 weeks. Well.
Okay, so who are we missing? Fairbanks. Kind of becoming a regular thing. Do these meetings count towards?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Is there any benefit?
Right.
Is there any benefit to booting? If is there a population that could support that?
It does. We don't really have a choice. The bylaws say it's automatic.
It's automatic. All right.
Once it's confirmed that somebody misses attendance, they're considered to have descended from office.
If he's close to missing and hasn't yet, there's still an option of voting to exempt.
Forgive.
That part is correct.
Yeah, in an all thing.
Yeah. So I guess Amanda, if you want to add that to the list of things to look at.
How many has he missed?
All of
All
them.
but 2.
Oh,
Enough for it to start to be concerning as far as attendance.
well, I mean, we've had 3 months of every other week,
They can miss
6,
6. So
or 4 in a row, but if he's going to his
Right.
regular. But
those of you who missed all but 2, he's like pretty close to 6.
Yeah.
If not at it, so we can double
Yeah.
check.
yeah,
But like I said, if they become a shire, it won't matter.
Yeah. Won't matter.
I mean, it works.
it's a
It works
definite
for homework.
bonus.
All right. Are we ready to wait? Is there anything I wanted to talk about before we went live? I assume you guys can all hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Thank God. Okay.
Okay. So I had put 2 items on for the BoD, the DC budget, and then the secondary one was figuring out how to budget stuff for awards. Because our current awards budget is used up already.
Oops.
So are you guys aware of the process to use budgets? I was staring at that a fair bit today. The 2 options are basically we approve to spend money, and we need to do that with a unanimous BoD vote. If it's in excess of 10% of our of a number that I had Amanda give me earlier today, which was like 2,200 something. Within 30 days, if we try to assign more than $2,200 within a 30-day window, then we need to have a unanimous vote of the BoD to approve that, and or involve the populace in approving it. The other option would be an amendment to the budget, which then also requires that's an even bigger process. So that's why I was kind of leaning away from the budget amendment side of things, just because that's even more heavy-handed and time-consuming, especially when looking at like the DC stuff. Because I assume that Jason needs sooner access than, say, I think it's minimum of like 3 weeks out, if I kind of added my numbers up right.
What did our original award budget get used up on?
Previous awards.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't as concerned about the award budget because I have a discretionary fund. My understanding is I have a discretionary fund, and I think we can make ends meet. We can discuss how to make that work.
I was just curious where it went. That was all.
Yeah, just things added up. I mean, there's lots of cool stuff at Wolf's Cry, right? So that stuff costs money. That's where, yeah. So anyways, and we should just watch that and think about that when we do next year's budget.
Well, and that's if you're looking in the bylaws there, 832 is designed specifically for the board to do things that aren't on the budget that necessarily, I don't know, like it's impossible to plan for everything in the budget. You just do your best to plan for as much as possible. And the board can access up to 10% with just a simple majority vote.
Right. And so what I was concerned about with the 10% thing was assigning how much money we need to assign, not so much for the award stuff. I mean, that's secondary, but the DC budget stuff.
Sure.
And so that's you're about to hit us with that number. So that's where I just want us to be kind of aware, cognizant of what the options are of how we'll play it. And so I'm going to guess that it's going to be more than the 10% number. And with a BoD number missing, my suggestion would be that we talk about the number. We'll talk about, like, do we all agree that are here, and then we'll put a vote on the BoD page and try to get that wrapped up here pretty quickly.
Sure. Is there anybody that's on the board that's missing other than Astro Winds?
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay.
So I think that's the only person that'll be out of the loop, and assuming we're all on the same page, I think that'll be pretty easy. I just don't want to mess up the process here.
Sure.
And then for the award one, I want to talk about that off camera, but we can do that at the end because there's somebody proposed one thing, and then we have some counter arguments, and we should just figure out what our plan wants to be. Whether we want to. We'll get there at the end, anyways.
We've got award budget stuff.
Well, it's somewhat the budget, and then it's somewhat like, do we want to give the award? Like, do we want to plan out exactly who's getting what awards, like right now, or do we want to give ourselves some wiggle room? Or
so, if you want, I can incorporate some money for awards in the budget that I request once we go live, and make that part of the event budget, since coordination is hosted there. You know what I mean? That way you guys only have to vote once.
Right.
It might work for this instance, but as a general thing, I do think they should be separate items.
Yeah, I think we'll make it work because, like I was saying, I think there's a discretionary budget that we can tap into, and then there's some other strategies and things that I want to discuss with you guys too. So we'll see what we even need, because one of the things to discuss is how much money we're even going to spend on this. On all the awards and what types of goodies we'll give out for that stuff. But anyways, I think we need to go live and get going, because I think the DC thing might take a few minutes, right?
I think it'd be really fast unless you guys have a ton of questions.
Okay. No. All right. So unless anybody has something else they want to say real quick. Nope. Okay. Then I'm going to try to find the live button here. I guess I'll turn my camera back on so you can all see me sweating here. Seriously, the live button is usually like right here. What am I missing?
Has it been a bit of a Monday?
Oh, you have no idea. Genuinely, it should be. How am I missing this? Oh, it says I'm already live, but it says I'm off air. So we've been live this whole time?
No, it says off air on mine.
No, it says off air on mine too.
But somebody just told me that I'm watching the YouTube stream right now, and they just messaged me. So
yeah, it totally says off air on my screen.
It does on mine too, but the button's missing also, and I'm getting messages from people that are watching right now. So let me check on the website.
It says live.
Oh my God, really? I lost the window. It is totally live. Stupid YouTube. Whatever. All right, you guys saw the stuff you shouldn't have seen. Yay for...
Oh, we didn't really talk about anything.
No. Right.
Thank goodness.
God. All right. BoD meeting. Let's pretend like we're starting now as if we haven't already. So... in attendance, yeah, myself, Sean, Cameron, and Jason, and Amanda's here. Awesome. So we are missing.
Hadland is also here.
And Hadland's there in the background. Awesome. Well, yeah. Okay. So agenda item number 1, the DC budget. What strategy and how much are you looking for?
I don't know what you mean by strategy, but I need $10,000
total. This is on
total.
Okay, so a 5K to double the budget.
So the and I will go over. Give me just a second here. So that number contains the following elements: site, which is approximately 50% of that. Dividing walls for the event. Stands for our console stations, mounting TVs and stuff too. Prizes for some of the tournaments and competitions. Administrative elements such as convention badges and things like that. There's an advertising budget. Some smaller miscellaneous numbers for repairs to the DC walls. Monsters and costuming, props. And then a decent chunk goes to stocking the tavern. So there's several elements in that I'm hoping, you know, as I work on it, I can get the price down a lot lower, but that's what the basic quoted price is for everything. The site alone, they're based on their standard price is $5,400 for 3 days. Last year I was able to get that down to a cheaper price. I'm hoping I can do that again this year, but if not, that's the worst case scenario. And that, like I said, that just takes a huge chunk of it. Renting and or building the different wall components is going to come to like $1,450. And then I got $1,000 that I want to set aside for prizes. We have like 15 different competitive events, so he lets us get some minor prizes for those. And then a couple $100 for the admin things like badges, $350 for advertising, a total of $600 for walls, monsters, and props, and $1,000 for the tavern. And again, those aren't hard numbers. I would intend that I would need to, you know, be flexible and move money from one to another as I put it all together. But overall, I can't imagine them costing much more than that. And I think I've got some wiggle room, but that comes out to, for those of you guys paying attention at home, $9,990.
So we're just gonna round it up to 10,000.
Yeah, if you guys don't mind giving me 10 extra bucks.
Oh my God, how dare you round
I know.
much. What I meant by strategy was the notion that we were talking about, like authorizing budget at a rate dependent on pre-sales. But
sure,
I assume that
too,
with the way
but
that
you
you're
have to come up with a hard number. So there you go.
Okay, yeah. So I assume the way that you're asking is we're looking for just a 10K deposit in an account that you have access to make this event happen.
For the most part, although depending on what the organization, I don't know if you guys have access to 10K to move like that. I don't think I need the site fee up front. I think I can get away with a deposit and paying the rest of it as we get like either right before the event. The lady that we work with there, Sherry Musgrave, she's really awesome. In fact, once she came and collected payment for Wolf's Cry like on Saturday afternoon in the middle of a battle game. They generally don't require 100% of it up front, just a deposit. So if so we might be able to, like, you know, push off $5,000 of that until the end of January.
Okay. That might be helpful.
There's plenty of flexibility, and so like I've got a $5,000 budget that's already approved, right?
Right.
That is enough to do everything that's not a site fee. Like, I mean, that'll cover everything else. So for me to get started, so I'm totally comfortable just using that. If you guys want more time to deliberate and figure stuff out, just know that if I do spend that $5,000 and you don't approve the money for the site fee, I don't know what to tell you. So, but I can get started with what's already approved very easily.
Yeah, I think that as a group we'll need to commit to this as a plan overall. Otherwise, it's pretty silly. I mean, on paper, I could see it would work out just like you said, but
right. And some of this stuff will be like permanent stuff that will carry over into next Dungeon Crawl that we won't have to buy again. Some of it won't be. And there's a couple different ways. Like the companies that do the what they call the pipe and drape wall systems, which is what you see at conventions. They're, I don't know if this is just the off season for them and it's really hard to get a hold of them or get people to call me back, but I haven't been able to get a hold of somebody that I can actually wheel and deal with. I've only been able to get a hold of people that can quote me what their website says for prices. So the price of renting those you know, pipe and fabric walls is pretty darn close to what it would cost to build them. It would cost, I think, about 20% more to make them ourselves, which is, if that's something that you guys would rather I pursue, just let me know. Because while that would cost a little more this year, it would, you know, take $1,500 off the budget for next year, which makes a difference. But then there's also the logistics that you guys will have to follow through on, things like transportation, storage, upkeep, things like that, right? So that's on you guys to figure out how you want to handle that. So there's definitely that element. What else? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at with it, I guess. Does anybody have any questions on any of those things? Okay. And so, I mean, ideally, that's what I think it will cost. There is the chance, or the off chance that things will come up that will cost us more money. And I don't know. I'm comfortable coming back to the board or the CoC to ask them, or to put that to them and say, hey, how do you want me to handle this in the future? I think there's enough time to do that without it put me in a crippling position. So, if this budget were approved now, I think we'd be fine. And again, for those of you at home that are like, oh my God, $10,000, that's crazy. Remember, half of that is the site fee rental. And in order for us to recover that and break 100% even, we would have to double our attendance, essentially. And that's not counting if that's if the bar made $0, which it will not be the case. But if we were trying to break even on ticket sales, essentially everybody that comes to Northreach would have to find one non-Amgarder to come play video games. And if they did that, then we would more than break even. So I think that's super duper feasible. And then if we have that many people in attendance, the bar will probably make more money than it does at Wolf's Cry, I would imagine. And especially since we're open for a whole other day. And the bar at Wolf's Cry, I don't know what you guys made last year, but historically it's been, I don't know, I think $800 is a pretty safe guesstimate for what we've made as far as income goes. Or is that profit, or?
That's profit.
Yeah, that's profit after purchasing the alcohol and everything, paying all that off. So, I mean, if we put $1,000 into the tavern and we make $1,500 on top of that, sort of total of $2,500 back, that takes a big chunk out of everything as well. And I mean, those are the sorts of things that I'm looking at. And I think that in 3 days with 200 people, we could easily make $2,500 at the tavern. That's easy peasy. So that's sort of where we're at. And I kind of wanted to see how you guys felt and see if you would give me the money to get started.
So I don't think apparently we discussed on air earlier. We don't have the everybody online to make that vote right now, but I think we'll go with the plan that I outlined earlier, which was we'll put it up on the BoD page and try to get everybody's commitment. And I think that'll give us all a couple days in case there's somebody who wants to give us some huge reason and alternative to change what our current plan is. But my intention is to get back to you, before Friday of this week.
I don't object to putting it online, but we have quorum. A unanimous vote just means that everybody that's present, well, it means that nobody present votes no.
Is that the way we want to go?
That's an appropriate procedural statement.
Okay, I mean, we can do you guys want to vote right now, or do you want to?
I think we can vote now.
Okay, when you can make a motion to vote and somebody second it, we can do it.
I'll motion that you give me the money.
I'll second it.
Technically, don't we need
I can motion. I just can't vote. Okay. I'm on the board. Shut up. I just can't vote.
All right.
Suggest things,
so I know Amanda's going to message it to me. So Amanda, you're up first. Yay or nay for doubling the budget from 5,000 to 10,000 for the dungeon crawl?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Red, you're next.
Yes.
Cameron, I think you're the black box. Yep.
Yes. I should have a photo up there now. I've tried to update my profile.
On my screen, it's black. But anyway, so Sean. No sound came out. I saw your lips move.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, was that a middle finger or was that a thumb? Okay. Okay. Yay. And then I'll say yes. So let's we'll count that as a yes, and we'll get that squared away.
I can. I'm happy to provide a report sometime between now and the event, whenever you guys would like, on where we're at with the finances, if that's something you guys are interested in following up on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just
I mean, it can be unofficial, like we can chat it out, or I'm happy to do it in front on air too. So,
yeah, I mean, maybe at least something. Well, I mean, I process stuff better on paper or on screen. So, I mean,
that's good to me.
Sheets file or something.
Yep.
As we kind of go along. All right, so nothing else for the BoD right now, unless somebody has something they want to add.
Yes.
Okay.
Insurance. We don't necessarily have to deal with it now, but I want to bring it up as a thing that we need to keep our eye on. I don't know when our insurance is going to be up for renewal.
December.
Yeah, so I just actually got something in the mail, mailed to me. I'm still a leftover contact. And our current policy expires December 18th. I took a picture of that and was intending to stick it in the CoC Facebook group. I just haven't yet. So,
okay.
There you go.
Yeah, mid-December is what I remember seeing from the paperwork I found. So,
okay.
Was there something concern? I think we're budgeted at $1,600 for that. I think that's.
I just wanted to make sure that, I knew that it was going to be coming up soonish, and I wanted to make sure it was on the appropriate people's radar.
Yeah, I think I've nagged about that a little bit to Amanda a couple times already. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anything else anybody has for BoD side?
I got nothing.
Okay. I make a motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Yay across the board. Yay.
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna call it 8:31. I can now close one of my many tabs that are open. All right, CoC meeting. See how fast we can burn through this. Oh my gosh, didn't write down all the stuff, but I can do that as we go. Item number 1, DC updates. Anything else extra worth sharing that you'd like to share about Dungeon Crawl?
I mean, we've got everything's rolling along. Gideon had to step back, for some personal reasons, but he's still involved in helping out, and I'm bringing some other people on board. But the dungeon games are all planned out, and they're sick. They're going to be amazing. You guys are going to have so much fun. I'm actually sad that I don't get to play them. And we are putting together all of the games. It was really funny. I was at Ravenstone's half guard last night, unlike their monarch who went to go have pho, jerk. And I was chatting with people, and they didn't seem to understand what we were doing at Dungeon Crawl. So I really need your guys' help to make sure that your regions know what is going on. Because while a lot of people were involved in the initial conversation about format, apparently there's a lot of people who missed that conversation, and at least at Ravenstone, were ridiculously excited when I was explaining how we were going to do stuff. So I'm about to, either tonight or tomorrow, I'm going to finish. I'm designing a couple of physical put on the wall posters to distribute, so people can print them out and put them up. I've got a couple of promo videos that I'm finishing, and then I'm going to fill out. I think we have about 80% of the schedule filled out, and I'll be publishing all of those things. Once I do, what I need is not just you guys, but I need every single member of Northreach to share it to their Facebook page. We are our best advertising platform. We all know thousands of people, combined, and if we all share it, they'll see it all over the place. It'll look like it's suddenly blowing up everywhere because we're all part of the same echo chambers. And that's critical. Again, the goal for this event is for every single member of Northreach that goes to Dungeon Crawl to try and bring one person that is not an AMP card to participate in the convention part of it, and maybe suck them in AMP card, because that would be awesome too. But if we do that, it'll be a raging success. So the entire kingdom needs to push it, and it's not hard to just click the share button. That's minimal effort, but everybody needs to do that. So we're super on track. And once you guys see those updates, you get to see all the stuff that's going on. Tickets are already on sale. People can buy tickets now if they want to. Registration for the events is coming up a little bit later because we've got it set up so that people that buy a Mammoth ticket get to register early, so they can, set up, register for tournaments and things that they want to be a part of before everybody else, the general admission people, get in there. And it's gonna be amazing. Like I said, the dungeon games, it's gonna be the best dungeon Amcard experience we've ever had. Like, Drake and I spent a couple weeks just brainstorming ideas, and the stuff that he finalized and settled on is amazing. To give you guys a tiny little bit of a taste, there's 4 different distinct dungeons that will be used. So it's going to be reconfigured for each of those dungeons. They won't look or feel the same. And each dungeon has a completely different game type. There'll be some RP games. There'll be PvP games. Like, there's some games where it's just one team running through the dungeon by themselves. There's some games where it's 4-on-4, or 4 teams free for all, or whatever. There's a lot of different styles of games, and people are gonna. There will be at least one game type for everybody, and the progress that your team makes, or how well it does in each dungeon, will give them access to different tools and things in subsequent dungeons. And so it's just going to be a blast. Like, I'm really excited to watch everybody play it. We've got right now we've got like official Games Workshop referees running the Warhammer tournaments. We've been talking with sanctioned Magic referees, or whatever they're called, to run the Magic tournaments. We've got some pretty awesome designs and setups for the console areas and the PC tournaments. So it should be a ton of fun. And I know Mara's been doing some really cool stuff with the tavern. So she's got cosplay contests set up. She's got movies set up, like all kinds of neat things. And we're going to be streaming. So I'm donating a 65-inch TV to the tavern, and we're going to plug in all kinds of video inputs to it. So we can pipe in, tournament finals for any of the console games or the PCs. We'll have cameras in the dungeon so people can kind of see what's going on in the dungeon. And, or we could be watching goofy movies, or I think Mara's even got karaoke on the list. So there's just all kinds of crazy stuff that's going to happen, and it's going to be a blast.
Karaoke is good.
I agree. Especially in the bar.
Anything else about DC then for tonight?
That's all I got. Anybody got questions?
I'm assuming court's at the very, very, very end of DC.
Court is Saturday at 7 p.m. So right in the middle of DC, actually.
Just in case anybody missed that, court for DC is Saturday night at 7 p.m. So
I listen.
Make it.
Y'all said that's what you wanted. That's what you're gonna get.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Yep. I told my boss that if I miss this weekend, we're gonna have issues, so I'll be there.
Awesome. Yeah, and just drag everybody.
You bring your boss. Show them what you're doing.
See, my boss will get CoC 6'd pretty quickly. He's not a very nice guy.
Okay.
If he can last 72 hours, then he can make it.
Or if he can last 20 minutes and spend some money at the bar.
Right, yeah. As long as he buys the ticket, I don't care if he lasts 3 minutes. No refunds. No refunds.
No refunds.
I'm trying to finagle my way out of that Friday of work because I'm like, I need to go to this thing, and my boss is like, you're already taking so much time off for your wedding, and I'm like, but.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit. We got something coming up here fairly rapidly, and I'm gonna just talk and talk until Shelby stops me and takes over the conversation.
Is he just gonna talk about my event? I mean, that's cool.
No,
so I'm assuming you want to talk about Grand Academy, because I want to talk about Grand Academy because it's going to be an amazing event. So I'm actually working on a day-by-day visual schedule, because somebody mentioned to me that the reason they hadn't signed up yet was because it was really hard to figure out which classes were when and how they could make it all work. So I was like, well, sweet, I can absolutely fix that. So I'm putting finishing touches, and I'll have that out this evening, which I think will help people. We have the All Access Pass that was released a little bit ago now. That's $50, gets you into everything. That's right. That means that you have zero material costs. That's it. You pay $50, and you can sign up for all the classes you want and do all the combat classes. You can do some combat classes and some construction classes. For $50, you can walk away with awesome information from an incredibly qualified sword knight instructor, as well as a cloak, a tunic, a set of pants, and some sashes. Like, for $50. That's like essentially the deal of the century.
So you're not going to get any of that for $50.
No, I mean, but if you want to sign up for it, we'll make it happen. And the options are there. Additionally, I got some feedback. We had some people, some members in the organization that really just wanted to hit people. Like, I don't know who those people are. And so we made another pass available today that is the All Combat Pass. For $30, you can sign up and attend all the combat classes that you want. It won't get you a tunic, it won't get you a cloak, it won't get you a pair of pants, it won't get you other things, but it will get you all the wax for $30. So that was added today. Everything is online and available and ready to go. I did have a couple people ask me if they could pay cash. Absolutely, you can pay cash to your local prime minister. All that is available to them through the Square store, so it's not a problem. If you don't want to use the plastic, fine, you can pay cash with your local prime minister. And you can also, there is an option to, sign up closer to the event. Just know that there, is difficulty with making sure we have enough materials there and everything. If you just pop in that day and you're like, hey, I want to take the chainmail class, we might not have rings for you. So, especially those construction classes, if you know you want to do that, sign up now so that we can be sure to have enough materials for you to be able to participate in that class and walk away with something that you've made. I think that's my spiel. I would really appreciate, help from everybody spreading the word on this. It's been a while since we've had a Grand Academy, so there's plenty of people out there who aren't really familiar with what a Grand Academy is. I've been trying to do a daily GAX hype on the Facebook page. Some of those I choose to spread to the individual park pages as well. Some of them I just put in the Northreach page. Essentially, I don't want to spam people everywhere all day, but I do want people to be aware. So word of mouth is really, really powerful. If you're not coming to this event, I want to know why. And what can I do to make this event accessible? Because it's awesome. It's a great opportunity to learn everything Amtgard.
Hey, Hadeline. I've been trying to share your links, but I've come across an issue where Facebook won't let me share your links or your posts.
Yeah, I have a weird issue where I can't share my posts either, and I don't know why. So I've been...
it might be your privacy settings. I would double check and see what your privacy settings are, because I know other people have run into that situation, and it's been their privacy settings.
I think it has to do with the fact that it's an event that's that belongs to the Northreach group that I am a host of, but the owner is the Northreach Facebook group. And I don't think I'm an admin on that Facebook group. I'm just a host for the event. So I think it might be related to that, because my personal posts are shareable. But yeah, that's a really good point. So I'll look into that to make it easier for people to share that information. Thanks for that info, Red.
Sign up. Register.
Yeah.
Classes fill up.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and if I might just throw this out there real quick, guys. So this is one of the things that when I was Monarch, I tried really hard to instill in the entire CoC. Events like Grand Academy, Dungeon Crawl, these big events, these are your events as a council. And they, no matter how awesome your autocrat is, they will succeed or fail based in great part on your effort as individual monarchs and as a council. You know, it's absolutely crucial that you guys are talking about this on your park days, and that you are, you know, not just announcing it, but you have to build that positive energy and to get other people to want to like take that energy and run with it, so that it's starting those online conversations and just getting the community involved. That's what makes them successful. Because I know I can design the awesomest event and it'll be sitting there waiting for everybody, but if the organization isn't supporting it, then they don't show up and it just goes to waste. So we all got to do everything we can to drive the hype train, as it were.
All righty. Anything else for Grand Academy? Any other questions?
Nope, I think I covered it all.
Got it all. All right. So we can skip the next one since we're missing that person. Just another reminder out there for you guys that we need to build up the inventory list for all of Alaska. So if you guys haven't added to that Google Sheet yet, then please do so. We need to try to get all that stuff on there. Red, did you get a chance to add the things that you were talking about?
My officers are really amazing, and they put all of their stuff into their Google Drive they made. I just totally forgot to transfer it from one Google document to the other.
Okay.
If you can send me a link to ours, that will remind me to do it tonight.
Okay. So we'll try to get that set up, and we need to do this for ourselves and for each other and for the next CoC.
Does anybody want to come help me do it? Because I've finally gotten my shop squared away to the point where I can start pulling that stuff out and looking at it. But there's a lot of it. A lot of little things.
You probably have the biggest supply, the biggest pile. Time is at a premium for me. I'm personally kind of stuck, but maybe we can find some sucker around.
Anybody. Extra pair of hands. I don't care who they are.
I heard somebody dropped out of wanting to run for Monarch so they could help with specific things.
There's a couple people that were in that boat, I think.
Yeah, so maybe, I don't know. We'll see.
I'm the kind of person that has fists of stone.
Right? Something like that. Yeah. But they got the cool garb. Anyways. Right. So, next item on the agenda. Holiday schedules and absences. So the absences part sounds worse than it means. I was just basically going to point out that I was gone for a chunk of December, and give you guys an opportunity to say if you guys were going to be missing for anything personal like that. So holiday schedules. Are we all going to be open for the week of Thanksgiving? That's the first one. That's coming up sooner than anything. Does anybody know of any blackouts for their gyms for Thanksgiving? No. Okay.
I'm not aware of any.
Okay. And then for Christmas, do you guys know of what dates you won't be in your gym for Christmas?
I haven't looked into Christmas yet.
You haven't looked yet? Okay. So I'll save this one for later, but something we'll want to, make sure everybody knows ahead of time. I think Sean's talking, and I can kind of see him moving, but I can't hear anything. So.
All I heard was a bunch of buzzing.
I heard buzzing. Yeah, I know. Poor guy. The whole discretionary buzz is just going to be going to getting a loaner device for. But anyways, we'll save this one for later. Okay. So something to maybe have ready for 2 weeks from today. Volunteer opportunities. So I just wanted to point out for those that are watching at home and for you guys to also share with your local groups in case you think you got people that would want to pay attention to this. the bid for Wolf's Cry 2019. So that's this upcoming Wolf's Cry. The close date for that is November 11th. So that is 6 days from today. So if people want to get bids in, and so far we have one bid. So if anybody else wants to get a bid in, this is the week to do it. Next one would be the castle design. The close date for that is November 30th. So that's for almost 5, just slightly less than 5 weeks. Wait, yeah, 1, 2, 3, slightly less than 4 weeks. Sorry. Slightly less than 4 weeks from today. So November 30th is the close date for the new castle design. The next one is, well, the next couple are something that I need to ask you guys about. The exact close dates for the bids for Three Barons Ren Fair, the Alaska State Fair, and Dungeon Crawl 2020. We just generically decided December 2018 for Three Barons Ren Fair. Did we want to have a specific close date for that? And when do we want to discuss, you know, the bids for that one? If I remember correctly, Three Barons Ren Fair, we wanted to have an autocrat assigned by January because they need to start interacting with the entity that that runs that event, and they start doing stuff in January. So let me kind of scroll down to December here. So for CoC meetings, we'll have one on December 3rd and then December 17th. So December 17th would be the last meeting that we have before January. Do we want to make the due date for that like the 10th of December, and gives us a week to review it before we discuss it on the 17th? Does that sound reasonable?
I like that because it gives us plenty of time to look over it before we make a decision.
Okay. Anybody object or want to change that? No. Okay. So we'll call that December 10th. All right. For the Alaska State Fair, the close date for that we decided was January. You know, this upcoming January. Do we want to just do the same strategy? Pick which day we're going to talk about it or assign it, and then do a week before? So our meeting dates in January will be the 7th and the 21st. My concern is that the 21st is the last meeting before DC, and I think DC will be taking a fair amount of our concentration at that point.
So, like, I would recommend that you make the deadline for the next DC autocrat selection be after DC. Not very long after, but like maybe 2 or 3 weeks after. Because especially this year, we don't exactly know what the format next year will be like. I mean, if this event totally tanks and it's awful, then a bid with the same format may not be what you guys want to go with.
And so that would be the one for the DC, which we did say it was in January, and I might have totally mixed them up. Currently, I was trying to figure out the date for the Alaska State Fair close.
Well, disregard everything.
And that could have totally been my bad because I'm staring at both lines going back and forth. So I say, how about we say this? It's due December 31st, or no, I can't say that. I said January. Could just be a jerk. January 1st, it's due. The bid for Alaska State Fair, and then we will review it on the 7th for who is going to be the autocrat for Alaska State Fair. Does that sound reasonable, or do you guys want to push that a little later?
That sounds reasonable to me.
Okay. I suppose we can also reserve the right to extend that date if we so desire as it gets closer to that. And then taking the cue there about DC, though, I could agree and say that we will push the date back for talking about DC 2020 to somebody's messaging me, and it might be important. Oh, that was less important. January, no, February, because we're looking at 1st through 3rd. So, want to give it a couple weeks and look at it near the end of February?
Actually, I think that works too.
To March. Want to say that it's due, say, like the 25th, and then we review it on the 4th. Sorry, I'm not hearing anything coherent at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to just pick those dates, and then if you guys want to stop me or tighten that up, you will have a couple months to do so. So I'm going to, for those that are watching and may still be able to hear me since I can't quite make out what anybody else is saying, I'm going to say that the Dungeon Crawl 2020...
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All I can hear is some background noise. I don't know who it's coming from, but that's like the only thing I can hear.
Sean's heavy breathing, I think.
I don't breathe heavy.
All right, so original plan. Let's go with the 2020 bid date for Dungeon Crawl will be February 25th is when it will be due. And the CoC is going to review it on March, whatever the next day was, March 4th, which will be a whole new CoC at that point. I just realized. So that'll be
it's due during the next CoC as well. So
yeah. It just suddenly dawned on me that because we pushed past DC, or it's past you guys. So unless you are on going to rerun, you got to rerun, right? So it's relevant.
Yeah, I have other things I have to take care of.
What, like getting married or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone for a good chunk of that reign, so yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, since Ravenstone has issues getting a GMR to actually run, I might be running for that this time around. So.
All right, so that was all that I had on the agenda for tonight, for at least the public side of things. Is there anything else anybody else has for today?
Cameron brought up that one thing. Do we want to talk about that?
The award stuff?
No, I posted a thing for an all-thing proposal to amend the bylaws item that says that we have to take votes by show of hand. So, like, we don't necessarily have to vote on it today. We can, like, decide that we want to take, until next time to read it over and decide what we think about it. But
okay, did
I finally got written it up, so I posted it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that. Was too busy in here by the time. Yep. Do we want to save that for next time then?
That works.
Or, I mean, that should probably be done as an all-thing item anyways. So.
Well, I mean, it has to be an all-thing item, but.
Right, and we can just decide. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything we need to really talk about here.
Okay. We can do that on Facebook or hold it till the next meeting.
Right. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying I don't. Anyways, yeah. Anything else from anybody? Last chance.
Nothing here.
No. Okay. So I don't know how to shut this down off of air since my screen still says we're off air.
That's because I needed to say one more time, come to Grand Academy.
Yeah. So sign up and get your classes for Grand Academy. All right. So I think I'll disconnect and then try to call you guys back. Does that work?
Should do, I think.
Yeah, that works for me.
Or do we want to just call on Facebook?
Facebook is fine too.
Okay.
How do I do it through Facebook?
All right, I'm gonna try to do it through Facebook. All right, good night, everybody.